Hi. Wow, I just took a deep breath because this is right now, within the next 20 minutes. Chiron and Mars are going to conjunct in Aries. And this is a major, major turning point in global history, to be honest. Now, I'm going to explain this as simply as I can. There'll be some astrology, maybe even there will be human design jargon and stuff in it, but I'm going to minimize it because I want to get to the bottom line. None of this sort of ramble, yak about astrology, numerology, blah, blah, blah. This is for real people who want to really take advantage of the incredible opportunity that's happening in the world, not just in terms of human evolution in a philosophical, spiritual way, but in terms of really coming to grips with how this world has worked, how it's working now, what is working, what isn't working, and where we're going into the future. So I don't care whether you're a tennis professional, a business entrepreneur, a massively rich whatever, whether you've done 40, 50 years of personal growth and development, like I have, and my business partner Dan has, or whether this is the first time you've ever heard anything like this, whether you have a family, whether you plough fields, plant rice, grow tamarind trees, it doesn't matter. What's happening now is everything that's been developing throughout human history is coming to a head. And this simple little thing, Mars conjuncting an asteroid called Chiron in Aries, is the spark that lights the fire. Now, obviously, there's been a lot of stuff going on in the world, but it's still a lead up to what's happening. So let me give you some technical data in one way to put it in context and perspective. Chiron represents uniting what you would call conservative and innovative, cutting edge technology, cutting edge consciousness with practical, down to earth, build a structure and achieve a goal energy. It unites the two together. It doesn't deny either, but it heals their relationship. And when it does that, it actually takes the best of both and lifts it to a new level, the worst of both, and transmutes and transforms it into something that's never existed before. It really heals it so that contributes to something that's never been before. So everything that's going on at the moment in the world is pregnant and filled with possibility of conceiving something profound. And I don't mean woo-woo, think, spiritual. It'll happen on that level. It will definitely involve imagination, dreaming, visioning, connecting to something greater than yourself. But the purpose of that is to make real changes in the real world now and over the next decade and decades ahead. But if that is to realize its full potential, you've got to tap into the hope and the trust and the power that gives you and the connection to love that gives you now. You can't kick and scream, blame and project all your stuff out on other things. You've got to own it, that you're here, whatever you do, to contribute to the biggest leap forward and move forward ever in human history. And you've got front row seats. You're right in the middle of it right now. So it's crucial to know your history and your tradition and what matters to you. And it's also crucial to realize there are so many futures out there and you need to pick the one that's best for you, because that is your contribution to this change and to this world. I couldn't put it any simpler. So Chiron is like the half-half you know, the healer, magician, that's something that unites what seem to be unable to unite, that brings them together and empowers them both to rise to a whole new level. And I'm talking about in your life as an individual, as well as your family, your community, the world. These are just different playing fields, but it starts with you. And Mars naturally is at its very best in Aries. Now, yeah, okay, so what? And the two of them are coming together in, it's only about 14 minutes now, right? They're coming together. But what's different about this is Chiron has already been in Aries for a year or two. It takes 51 years to go around, one lap. Mars takes 2 years to go around, one lap. Chiron's already been sitting in Aries. And it's about, for this healing to happen, bottom line, practical, everyone has to get honest with themselves and who they are, and then honestly share that with other people. And the easiest way not to do that, to avoid that, is project out and say, power comes from out here, out in the world. And I've got to change the world so that I can get back in touch with my power. It's not true. Power is within you. And you have the ability to tap into that in your own unique way, in a way that truly aligns with who you truly are, not who you think you are. And then bring that to the table of life, to your family, your friends, your community, the world. So the BS has to stop now. That's the first thing. It's just bottom line. Call it whatever you like, fake, but the inauthenticity, the dishonesty, it's not going to stop now because I said so, but now's the time. If you really want to ride this wave and get the maximum benefit, cut the crap, be honest with yourself, with others, and give them the space to be honest. Greatest gift you can give them at the moment. Now, normally, Mars takes maybe 2 months to go through each sign. This time, for the first time in 500 years, it's taking 6 months in Aries. So not only is the healing happening, but Mars is taking a long time to really go, what do you want? I was talking to a client today, and we were just talking about, everyone knows how to tell other people what they don't want, but you ask someone, what do you really want? In the sense of, no, not what do you think you want, what do you truly want in this situation? And the majority of people get stuck. I've done this with many, many people. I know other people who have as well. People aren't clear on what they want, what they truly want within them. And so now's the time, the next 6 months. Mars came in at the end of last month, end of June. And it's here till the beginning of January next year. It's a week over 6 months. The last time this happened was in January 1970. And Mars went through Aries in 35 days, just over a month. It was like, whoosh. See ya. Now it's going, okay, slow down. It's time to get really honest. It's time to know how to learn to empower your masculine energy, whether you're male or female. It's time to turn negative energy into positive energy. In other words, perfect time with whatever your issues are. Don't try and eliminate them, get rid of them. Whatever your weaknesses are, don't try and conquer them. Turn them into, find the positive, not alternative, but the positivity that underlies that negativity. That negativity is a symptom of not having something that you want, that you truly want in your heart and soul. And if you can burrow down into that, and I'll go into how to do that in a minute, it's just going to open the doors for you, which will start showing people how to open the doors for themselves, and it'll ripple out. There's never been a time like this. The things we can achieve now, it's never happened before. And I'm understating it. If I really went into it, most people would be just left with their head spinning. What's he talking about? But you can now find out what you want, who you are, take the positive, lift it, take the negative, turn it into your greatest assets, bring them together, and start doing what you were born to, what you came here to do. I'll just put it that way. Now, as Mars hits Chiron, it's lighting the fire under this cauldron of energy. And Chiron's going to slowly keep going. It'll be another few years in Aries. And maybe Mars will touch it once more before it leaves, or twice more, probably once. Maybe it just touched it briefly 2 years back. I'd have to go and check, but whatever. Now it's like lighting the fire, and then spending 6 months. What do you want? Who are you? What did you come to do? You know, don't hide from yourself anymore. Now, a lot of people at the moment are hiding their true thoughts and feelings because of all the stuff happening on the internet and all over the place, cancel culture and stuff like that. You know, I'm not saying go out there and challenge the world, because the change isn't going to come from here. It's going to come from here. Be honest with yourself and with those you trust. Because if anything gets attacked now that can just pull this down, it's going to be disrupting trust. Trust can literally tear this whole world apart. Lack of trust. Literally tear it apart. And building trust can not only heal, but bring it all together at a whole new level. Now, I feel like I've been waiting all my life to say this sort of stuff, because what is happening now is so beautiful, as ugly as it looks. And the ugly parts can be the most powerful contributors when they're healed. And that doesn't mean getting everyone to agree. It means starting with those who are willing to empower what's great about them and heal their vulnerabilities, their weaknesses, their negativity. Put that together. The rest of your life, however long or short that is, will be fantastic. So, there's a very particular place, for those of you who know about human design, there's a very particular gate called Gate 17, where this is all happening right now. Now, that's part of how each individual, that contributes to how each individual thinks. and particularly to logical thinking. And right at the moment, it's connected. There's a connection that demands that we know and understand other people and resolve our differences so that we can understand more clearly what makes sense for us, and then share that with the world from a point of accepting that about yourself and accepting other people. Now, that's easy with people who agree with you. And I'm not saying about, oh, just smile. No, I mean really getting to the core of what that other person who drives you crazy is trying to show you about yourself and what you can do that contributes to them being empowered rather than destroyed, not elected, thrown out of their job. I wish they'd just bloody well shut up and get out of my life, whatever version of it is. Why are they persecuting? Why are they treating me so badly? That it's not going to work any longer. My business partner, Dan, was sharing this with me yesterday about what he'd shared with a group of people he's worked with. And he said, it's not about any particular trauma between any group or another group. We have, as human beings, been traumatized. And at some point, I'd love Dan to share this with you because he's so connected to this. He said there needs to be global acceptance, global healing, starting with each individual. But all of us on a global level for thousands of years have gone through an incredible amount of trauma, as well as some great achievements. But that trauma now needs to be healed, and it's not by separating. It's not by dominating. It's not by being tyrannical. It's not by cancelling people or rejecting people. It's about being in your power, Aries, your personal power, Aries, healed, Chiron, and asserting yourself in an honest and real way, which by its nature and what it offers demands other people do the same. Or at least gives them the opportunity. Demand, maybe not the right word, but in one sense, it just attracts them. It's like, come on, if you've got anything in you that's looking for truth, that's looking for what this life is about, that's real, that means something, that you matter, whoever you are, that you truly matter. And when you realize that within yourself and then open that up and share it unapologetically, but not to batter anyone, just this is me. It offers that opportunity to anybody, from the most enlightened to the most criminal, most whatever you would call them. Negative, evil, doesn't matter. Not everyone's going to take it, because not everyone has to for this to work. But it will change over the years and decades ahead, everything about how human beings live on this planet and how we relate to each other in the world and beyond. And as a scientist, I'm talking about outer space, but also as someone who knows their spirituality, becoming a bigger and a greater and a more free and responsible individual. So, what's going to trigger this off? And I'm going to go into some very sophisticated human design, but I'm going to keep it really simple. So it doesn't matter whether you know human design or not, you can get some real benefit out of it. Now, first of all, on an archetypal level, archetypes, the energies behind life, the fundamental building blocks of life. 17 is about realizing there is something greater than you. It's a mental thing that you need to grasp. You know, if you don't plug your fridge into the electrical circuit in the wall, it's not going to cool. There is a greater power than you, than me. There is a greater power than everything we see and are aware of, because none of it could exist if it wasn't plugged into that. Now, I don't care how you label it, how you relate to it, that's your relationship with that greater power. Even if it's one of denial, you've still got a relationship with that greater power, because there has to be one for you to deny it. And if you say, I don't believe, great. It doesn't matter, because you still function, you still live. So it's recognizing there is this greater power, and when you tap into that, it doesn't repress you, it supports your greatest expression. And right at the moment, there are 4 areas that are being triggered off. One is how you digest life. How are you going to digest the fact that there is something greater than you? That there is a future in front of you that can be magnificent. And you can contribute to that wherever you are at the moment, wherever you come from. How do you digest that? And what's the best environment for that to be embraced within? You need a context, because we are human beings. We need a context. We need an environment. And then where do you look so you can perceive that however you see it, whether it's with sight or ears or feelings or whatever? And what is the awareness that's emerging now? So if you know how to digest this experience that's going on at the moment, now every one of us has our own unique way of doing it. Every single one of us. So it's going to be different for every single one of us, because every one of us is different. We're unique. You know, to understand your role, you have to be looked at in a customized way as someone who's an utterly unique individual with unique gifts, measurements, just like getting a new suit or a new dress. But this fire that's been lit as I speak, literally just been lit. How do you digest this so that it lights your fire? What environment will enable this to settle in to your body? And it'll probably, for most of us, be a different environment than our normal one that we operate best from. But right at the moment, while you're listening to this video, while you're considering what I've shared with you, tap into that for a few moments, you know, half an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. And what is the awareness that'll help and that you will get to, and how do you look for that awareness? How do you perceive it? How do you connect with it? And this is it. The way you digest it. Now, all of this requires that you look within yourself, not look at the external world. Otherwise, you won't digest you'll see the reflections and the evidence of it out there. But to really grasp this so your mind can open up to it, because it's going to have to, or if you've got a defined mind, it can reframe within its own parameters and accept it. Or if you're like me with a very open mind, create at least some framework. And it's like, okay, the answers are going to come from within. And you'll digest this best in subtle or indirect energy. Now, that means it's better at nighttime than during the day. You know, if it was a room, it'd be indirect lighting or nighttime. But what it actually means practically is that if this is presented more gently, more subtly, because real power, when it's at its best, is incredibly vulnerable and gentle. So rather than rah, 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 and yeah, 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 not that that isn't fun, but rather than that, it's like gentle, the gentle approach, subtle approach. Listen, look within. Don't just listen to other people, but look within what's happening within you. And look at the past, look at the future as you see it. But this is about lighting the fire of your imagination, because that's going to be a massive part. Real, living, alive imagination is going to allow us all to live in this world, but have many other worlds to explore, and then bring back what we find there and share it with other people. We're not going to all become the same in the future. We're all going to become massively different, and enjoy resolving and sharing, resolving, and benefiting from those differences. The second thing is the environment. Oh, by the way, again, you know that this isn't working when you get overheated about things. So people aren't going to digest what's going on while everyone's getting overheated and attacking each other. It's like, okay, cool, gentle, share, listen, look within, share again. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen perfectly, but if you want to look at what this is about and light that fire within you, take some time to be gentle with yourself. Turn the lights down, sit in the dark, meditate, reflect, sunset during the night. And then the environment, that's when you'll digest this, when you're most gentle with yourself, and when other people will digest it when you're gentle with them. You're giving them an opportunity to feel. Second, the environment you need. It's the place to be is, I am willing to be where change is happening, on the edge between this world, that world, past, present, future, whatever, where change is happening due to development and human forces, the development of human beings. Well, if you don't feel you're at that point at the moment, then you're out of touch with what's going on in the world. You know, it doesn't mean you don't need time out just to, you know, go and do your own creative thing. I have a client who loves going out into the desert or into the Grand Canyon, and terrific. But you need to come back to and tap into what's happening and observe and learn from the changes as people make them happen. Watch how people make real changes and how they make negative changes. Be willing to sit. So even the internet, occasionally Facebook and Twitter and that have their place, but don't get bogged in it. Just, wow, look at what people are doing. Look at what they're saying. And again, it's, how does that affect you? Does it make you just shut down? Because if you're a person who gets the ball rolling, starts things off, you need to be in peace, not angry. And I don't mean do all the right things and get to peace. I mean, peace is your bottom line. Those people who get the ball rolling, they start from peace. And then they make decisions, then they do things, then they operate. And when you're getting angry, you're drifting off track. So going, okay, I'm really angry about this and this and this. Come back to peace first. Again, that inner vision, looking within yourself. Find the peace that's already built into you. You don't have to go and get there. It's there. You've just drifted away from it. Come back. And then make your decisions. Then integrate what's going on. If you're one of these people who, like, is an energy source, either in making things happen or you're just a source of energy, satisfaction is your baseline. It's who you are. When you get frustrated, whoa, I'm drifting away from myself. Come back. It sounds so damn simple, but it really is. You don't have to work to get to satisfaction. You have to work to get away from it and do a different type of work of coming back, coming home to get back to satisfaction, because satisfaction is you. That's the one measure. And getting to know what that feeling is within you is incredible. And you can watch and learn and then see how you respond to those people. And it can teach you so much about what the true feeling of satisfaction is with you, what frustrates you, and how you can use your own inner resources to get back there. If you're one of these people who guides, you're like a mentor, you help people get to success. You need to feel success before you help other people create it. And when you're drifting into bitterness, it's like, hey, I'm losing myself, but it feels like it's absolutely justified. It absolutely might be, but it's taking you away from your power, from who you are. So whatever it takes, get back to that I am success. I don't have to achieve it. I'm here to help other people achieve it because I'm already successful. But where's the evidence? You don't need the evidence because you already are it. Like for those people who generate energy, it's like they already are satisfaction. You know, plug into them, satisfaction guaranteed if they're in it. You know, those people who start things off, when they're not angry and pissed off, plug into them and it's like, oh, we can do this. Yeah, this is a good thing to do. It's like you're not attacking yourself. Your mind isn't going, oh, what are you doing? It's like, oh, I can feel this peace. Maybe I should go with this. Open up new doorways. And then there's a small group of you who just like giving us feedback just by who you are. And when you're feeling great, just like life is ripping, that's where you need to be. And when you're not, get out of that environment, go somewhere else. Go to the place where the change is most delightful. For the mentors, the guides, go to the place where success is happening. For the energizers, the one who bring and generate energy, go to the place that satisfies you, where you feel the most satisfaction, because then you're in the right place at the right time. And if you're one of these kickstarters who gets find peace, because then you're going to start something. Something's going to happen. And you can be very powerful and very strong with people from peace. You don't have to, it's not all about love and light. You know, love and power come from our depths. They're not wussy. They're not nicey. But they know that when they're applied authentically, they can be gentle. And when people are receptive, they can be powerful and strong and vulnerable and gentle with them. Now, where do you look? Where's the perspective you're looking for? I'm going to give it to you as a simple question to ask yourself and answer in your own terms. What do I need in order to evolve? Or if you're running a business or a seminar or a family or a football match or whatever it is, a business, what do the people I'm with need in order to evolve? That's the perspective. Look at this crazy world and all the stuff you get on the media and all the stuff that's happening in politics and what's going on in my city, my suburb, my family, the perspective is going, wow, this is pretty wild. And in some places, it's pretty quiet. And then there's COVID and there's all this other stuff going on. What do we need in order to evolve? That's the perspective to meditate on. And it's meditational, you know, it's a reflective, inner-looking, meditative perspective. What do I need? And ask for the answers to come from that greater power from within you, that greater you within you, however you perceive it. And if you're one of these energizers, when you get to that point of feeling satisfied, that's the time to ask that question. So get to the satisfaction first, then ask that question. Get to the peace first. What do they really need? Take care of yourself first, then you can take care of other people. Feel what success is for you, not externally defined by rah-rah webinars or lots of results, but what is success for you? And then ask, what do they need? What guidance can I give them so that they can grow? And from that is going to come a profound awareness. And again, this is something that starts by lighting the fire in the cauldron of who you are within you. It's going to emerge from that. As I experience life, so there's a lot to experience at the moment, I can understand and demonstrate what it takes to be true. First, as I understand life, I'll understand more about myself. I'll see more of myself reflected. I look within. I'll see much of that playing out, and some of that has always been there because it's true. And I connect with that, and I learn how to receive what's been given, the best, the stuff that really brings out the best in me. And then I can be a living example of being true. What does it take for you to be true? This is the question right now. True to yourself, true to who you really are. What are your true longings, your true yearnings and learnings, but your true yearnings? What did you bring that really matters? Even if no one else knows about it, even if hardly anyone in the world knows about you, you matter. Why? Because you're here in the form of matter to give you that message. You matter. You make a difference to that greater power and to this physical world. You weren't here, there'd be something missing. And when you leave, you'll step out and let other people do their thing. But this is, I can understand through my life experience. Life is bending over backwards to give you the experiences you need to understand what is true for you and then to demonstrate it. And that requires so much support and help from other people, not criticism, blaming, shaming, all of that stuff that we've done for thousands of years and have spread across the world in so many forms and traumatized us because we couldn't show up as who we truly are. We couldn't even understand what we were truly capable of. Well, we're now on that, we're on that brink and stepping across it right now. And it starts with you, whoever you are watching this video. You know, let a little bit of this or a lot of this into you, into your heart, and apply it. Not just as a, wow, that was a great talk. What else can I do to distract myself? Or, what a load of crap, which is just blocking out. Someone who's talking about what's great about you. And maybe giving hints, maybe giving a lot, maybe giving one that'll make a difference. So that you can truly matter. Your life matters. And you get to this is the big kicker, enjoy it. Really enjoy the beauty of being alive. Now, for those of you who want to work more deeply on this, Dan Silverberg and myself are doing a really powerful, unique program called the Personal Power Masterclass. If you want to know more about it, and it's big commitment, but it'll take you right to owning your personal power, the first step in this, so that when you step up to the table and start to contribute and co-create, you know you're bringing the very best of who you are. And it doesn't matter how successful you've been. What matters is how successful do you want to be? And do you want quality success or just the show of it? It doesn't matter how at peace you are. Do you want to spend more time operating from that point, initiating from that point? Doesn't matter how satisfied or dissatisfied you've been. Every moment you're alive is an opportunity for greater satisfaction, depth of satisfaction. Satisfaction is a work in progress. It's not just a state now, it is, but it's a work in progress. So that when you die, you go, whew, that was awesome. That was, I'm satisfied. Last breath. Whew. So it's long enough. I really hope you open up to and maybe listen to this again and let it in. If you have any questions, wherever this is posted, I'll make sure you've got some way of connecting with me and also a way of looking at the program Dan and I are doing. The one message I want to leave you with is whatever state your life is in, you're still here, so you still matter. Talk to you again soon.